Hey guys, welcome back to Mountain Murders.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize ahead of time. I am battling some sort of allergy type of cold, so I'm a little stuffy.
Yeah, I think everybody has it around here.
So if I sound a little annoying or like Fran Drescher, it's because I have a stuffy nose, and I'm sorry.
So yeah, I had that too. I'm just now getting over it, so I may sound even shittier than usual. Just bear with us.
Well, it's that time of year when the seasons are changing, and I have horrible allergies anyway, so anytime the weather starts to change or the seasons start changing, I end up getting like a little bit of something.
Right.
You don't normally get sick, but yeah, you had it, and then now I've got it. And we went to buy some allergy medicine the other day, and it was all sold out, so apparently we are not the only ones who are experiencing this sniffly kind of cold thing.
You know what's funny about that? When all the medicine's gone for whatever reason, is it's like all the off-brands completely gone.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the only thing that might be left is the stuff that costs $9, $10, $11, $12 for a box.
Yeah,
and but then when all that's gone too, that's when you know it's pretty bad.
Oh, so you couldn't find any?
No, there was none.
None of the above?
Yes, none of it. Was just empty slots. You just knew that was where allergy stuff was, and you go look, and yep, just empty slots everywhere.
Well, for the first time in a long time, I'm ready for colder weather. I'm a summer girl. I like 80-degree days. I like the sunshine. I like summer activities. But this year, I'm looking forward to fall. Now, I do love fall. I love the fall foliage, the color season. It's beautiful here in Western North Carolina.
Tours go home.
Yeah, right now is awesome, okay?
Yeah.
Because
the summer rush is over.
We're in the month of September. The summer tourist season is over. And then we are gearing up for the fall leaf season. But yet there's about a month, a little lull in the tourism. And it's so nice.
Yes, all the traffic's gone.
I was able to go out to Asheville last night, have dinner. There was no wait at the restaurant. I found parking. It wasn't like crowds and crowds of people out in the streets.
It was normal.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
I was like, this would be awesome year round.
Yeah, but then, boom, it's leaf season.
Exactly.
You got to drive behind people going, oh, it's a tree.
Yeah, I'm going to pull over.
10 miles an hour.
Yeah, and take a photo of a leaf or an elk.
Yeah, or stand in the middle of the road and take pictures of
Honestly,
stuff.
I'm just ready for the fucking mosquitoes to die. That's why I'm looking forward to cold weather.
Yeah, so they stop eating you alive.
Yes, I don't know what it is, but mosquitoes want to eat me. I cannot walk from my vehicle to the house, which is about a 5-foot walk, without getting bitten at least 3 to 4 times. Every day I am bitten by multiple mosquitoes. It's crazy.
They eat your little ass up.
They're like mutants.
They love you.
Some sort of genetically engineered mutant mosquito. It's like a biological warfare or something.
They've been sent here specifically to bite you. I told you that.
Somebody conjured me.
I know. I told you that someone has genetically modified these mosquitoes to come bite you because they want to kill you.
I've been conjured.
Yeah. So, yeah. Come on, cold weather.
Well, with Mountain Murders, we've spent a little time in the Tennessee area, eastern Tennessee. There are quite a few interesting cases out of that area. And I know we've been in Tennessee with the Channon Christian Christopher Newsom case.
Yes.
And then we put out the Unsolved West Virginia. But now we're back in eastern Tennessee, again with the Knoxville area. So are you ready to get started with this case, Dylan?
I am. Let's do it.
Christa Pike is the subject we'll be covering today, and this case ties in kind of later on with the Kentucky vampire cult case.
Oh, full circle.
Yeah, so we'll touch on that a few minutes, how these cases are related, but let's go ahead and get started. So Christa Pike, she lived a troubled life. She dropped out of high school. She had a very stormy relationship with her mother and came from a broken home. Not to be like, oh, this is a cliche, but oftentimes you get single mom, dad's not in the picture, there's no stability, little family stability, maybe finances are strained. You know, it kind of makes for a rough life.
It does.
Her mother was reportedly more interested in partying than raising a child. Her mom wanted to be the friend more so than the mother.
Right.
And we all probably know those parents.
Well, I've done, I've never went as far as she might have gone, but, I've tried to be not the cool dad or anything, but, more, friends as well as a parent. And you really just got to pick one or the other. And you know what happens is kids want that structure, whether they'll ever admit it or not. They want structure and all that, And you just got to be a parent. Be a good parent.
Yeah, I think when you choose to be the friend over being the parent, it never turns out well.
Well, when you're dad, there's certain things your kids would never even expect you to do because they're like, oh, dad's not going to do that, because your dad or your mom. Mom's not going to go for that shit. So, I think you really just need to be mom and dad and be good to them.
Yeah, I definitely grew up with the mom.
Right.
She was very much strict, authoritarian. And so maybe because I grew up in that kind of structure, I'm more of that, strict authoritarian.
Right.
And not that I don't want to pal around with my kids, but they definitely know that I'm not going to put up with any bullshit.
But you can pal around with them a little, but you can, they know.
Well, the difference is being the friend versus being the mother. And for example, Krista's mom was partying. She was drinking, smoking pot with Christa, allowing Christa to kind of come and go as she pleased.
Yeah.
Hang out with older people, adults.
Okay, see, that's putting her young daughter in a lot of dangerous situations, I would think.
Add to the mix, Christa had borderline personality disorder. Now, if you're unfamiliar with borderline personality disorder, and I'm very much simplifying this here, I'm no psychiatrist.
No, it's very complicated.
It is.
Disorder.
But it's a mental state of kind of all or nothing. Things are very black and white. There's kind of no in between, extreme emotions, love, hate. You either absolutely love someone to death, or 5 seconds later you might absolutely hate that person. I mean, there's just kind of no in between. With borderline personality disorder, simple emotions like jealousy can just be explosive.
Right.
Not to say that having this diagnosis or, this mental issue with borderline personality disorder causes people to become criminals.
No, you're not equating it to violence.
No.
It's just.
But there are a lot of violent criminals who also have borderline personality disorder. Like, for example, Jodi Arias.
Right.
She definitely had borderline personality disorder.
Well, there's an element of detachment from reality to that disorder. Am I right?
Yes.
They believe that in their mind that it's this or that. They can actually rationalize. Start believing their own bullshit for no lack of a better words, and and so
the perceived slights that they might have,
right,
that are definitely just sort of a perceived slight, maybe something that's not even true or targeted at them, but they can take that little slight and make it into something much more offensive and,
right, something
problematic.
That would bug most people for about 5 minutes to half a day, even if it bugged you, like, I can't believe that person said that to me, but then you just, and then you're over it. You move on with your life. But no, these people sometimes with this disorder, some of the people with this disorder, really hone in on, like you said, very small things.
And you'll understand as we get on with the case how some of Krista's problems and issues with her managing this borderline personality disorder can kind of come into play with the case.
Yeah, well, that's just something that's not going to ever make anything easier, right? If you have that disorder in the best of circumstances with a loving family and
lots of support,
affluent, plenty of money,
the appropriate health care
and education,
maybe you're seeing a counselor, therapist, you've got medication that's being managed.
See, that's a good window. That's exactly the difference between poor and rich, and to put it in those simple terms, that they can go through similar things, but they have access and to all this other stuff that you just don't if you're a person of little means.
Right.
Or from a broken family like this.
Well, Christa was living in Durham, North Carolina. She and her mother had this very strained relationship, and it was kind of one of the love-hate things. Like, 1 minute they might be best friends and they're partying and living it up. The next minute they're having like a knockdown, drag-out. They hate each other. Krista's kind of running around, doing things she shouldn't be doing. By this time, she's already kind of a little too far gone, out of control. Her mom can't really rein her in.
Well, and that's what happens when you're the friendly parent. It reaches a point to where you have to, I've got to check them, but they don't respect you anymore.
Right.
And so that,
So they're kind of running into some of these problems when her mother encouraged her to leave Durham and join Job Corps, where she could become a nurse's assistant. Now, she joined Job Corps, and if you're not familiar with the Job Corps program, it is a government program aimed at helping low-income youth. They offer vocational training, career skills. It's a good thing.
And they still do Job Corps?
Yes, they do. And they get these, and I say kids, but these young people out. They kind of offer them a different situation, move them out of the area where they are, possibly, just give them kind of a fresh start while they're giving them career skills training, that kind of thing. So it's great. She was going to attend what is now closed, but a Job Corps center in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is going to be quite a distance from Durham. I mean, that's probably a good 7-hour distance.
7.5 hours.
So a good opportunity for 19-year-old Christa to just start fresh.
Get away from all that BS she's grew up around, and fresh slate.
Maybe she's an adult at this point, not have mom breathing down her neck, getting a taste of freedom, but also kind of being on her own a little bit, but in more of a supervised capacity because these kids that attend Job Corps, they live in dormitories. They do have lots of rules, that are put in place that they have to adhere to in order to be part of the program. Probably a good structured environment for Christa.
And that's what she needs.
While at Job Corps, Christa began dating a man, her junior, named Tadaryl Shipp. Now, while she's falling madly in love with Tadaryl, her studies began taking a back seat. Now, she really thought Tadaryl was the love of her life.
Aww.
Again, with this kind of extreme emotions, when she's falling in love, she's really, really falling hard for this fella. Together, they developed an interest in the occult and in devil worship.
Uh-oh.
Now, she also created this imaginary rival while she was at Job Corps in a young woman named Colleen Slemmer.
Wait, now, like she picked this girl and kind of cued on her, or is it totally imaginary person, like it didn't exist?
Well, I'm about to get into that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love how you just interrupt me with some random question.
I'm sorry.
Christa immediately took a dislike to this Colleen girl. There again, she's a real person.
Okay.
And Christa just decides this is going to be my rival, even though it was just an imaginary. There was no reason for her to dislike this girl.
I just thought an imaginary rival would be more fun.
So she's just so it's like just this
foe,
like
you
ghost foe running around the building, like trying to ninja fight her or something.
Like you come in the room and she's like in there like, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, it's Eileen, or, she's here to get me. I told you.
Do you guys see what I put up with?
So that's how my brain works.
I know it is.
I had to get that out. Now
this is our day-to-day life, y'all, and it's hard.
Okay. So that would be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
But I did not mean to interrupt.
Well, Christa had the idea that Colleen wanted Tadaryl, even though Colleen admitted that she had no interest in him. I mean, she adamantly denied it. She said, look, I don't like him. He's not my type. I'm not interested in him whatsoever.
Okay, that's straightforward.
Very straightforward, but Christa would not let it go. The truth and denials did not matter to Christa Pike. She became obsessed with Colleen. It was reported on several occasions Colleen woke up in her dorm room with Christa standing over her.
No, that's no.
I mean, Colleen was reportedly, very afraid of Christa. And who wouldn't be? Can you imagine this person who just sets their sights on you?
She's just at Job Corps too, trying to change her circumstances.
Exactly.
Learn some skills. And now here's this crazy chick, with this blood feud.
Exactly.
And you don't even know her?
Colleen even went as far as calling home and telling her mom that she felt like she needed to leave Job Corps. Colleen's mother, not realizing the severity of the bullying, told Colleen just to stick it out. She was like, you've signed a contract. You need to finish what you started. This is going to be a really good program, good opportunity for you. They were also, coming from a low-income household.
Right.
Her mother knew that she would not be able to pay for college, formal schooling, advanced education for Colleen. So she was like, if you just tough it out,
this is your best bet to get some skills.
You're going to be able to get a good job. It's just a few months. It's not like it's your whole life. It's a temporary, not a permanent situation. And we've all had parents probably try to give us that pep talk,
And most of the time the parents are right. For whatever reason, you're just getting cold feet, and that is in her best interest to get these skills and, change, get away from your life back home.
And her mother, is not really realizing. I mean, I'm sure when Christa's telling her this, she's thinking it's just kind of the typical mean girl.
No.
Maybe cussing her out or making some rude comment. You know what I mean? Her mom's probably not realizing that this girl is in my room threatening me.
If I wake up even tomorrow, and there's just someone not besides my wife standing over me, or even if you did it more than once or twice, that would weird me out.